Hi, I'm David Norris and I'm serving up the perfect podcast, Pompey Platter with Russ, Daz and Haz. Play up, Pompey.
He used to be a waiter, did David Norris. Well, he's served up the perfect cocktail here.
Gera back to goal, Lang. Needs a bit of help. Goodness from Lang. What can he do? Still there, Lang. Lang! You wouldn't believe it! Cross comes into the near post. Headers into the net! Shaughnessy! Surely Pompey are heading for the championship! Portsmouth are promoted as League One champions!
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the Pompey Patter podcast for the final time of our debut season with myself, Harry, and my fellow co-hosts, Daz and Russ. Good evening, boys. How are we?
Evening, all good?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. A bit emotional, the last one. Looking forward to it though, still.
Last one of the season, let's put that. It's not the last one ever. Yeah. So tonight is a little bit of a more of a relaxed podcast. It's like the end of season feel. There's no real hard-hitting like talk. The only kind of real one is going to be what we're going to start off with, which is going to be just discussing the retained list. But to be honest, I don't think it will take that long. Then we'll quickly go through how our pre-season predictions went. So back in the first episode we all gave our top six and our relegations and like our underdogs and who was going to be rubbish. So we're going to quickly zip through that. Then we've got Haz versus Daz end of season quiz based on this season. See how much knowledge me and Daz actually remember. Then we're going to have Harry's Who Am I bumper edition, where we're going to have probably 3 or 4, depending on how quickly Russ and Daz get them done. And then a bit of any other business, if there is anything by then. So, boys, the retained list. We'll go to Daz first. I don't think there was anything particularly too shocking. Obviously, the players that were kept on were Dazelle and Swanson both got their contracts extended by the club option. They've offered Ben Killip a new 1-year deal. Well, I think a 1-year deal. I say 1 year. They've offered him a new contract. And then you have Yengi, Bramall, Scully, Lowry and Milosevic have all gone on a free. So, Daz, is there anything that really surprised you at all?
No, I don't think not. I think if you look at the reactions, especially from everyone on social media as well, I think it echoes of everything that we've spoken about as well, and on like privately on a WhatsApp group and that sort of stuff. I mean, the only I suppose the only one that was a bit is it gonna happen or not gonna happen? I think was Zach Swanson, wasn't it? Like people like I'm glad he got like another year extension, even if that just means that in the summer we get some money for him, because as we said, this model of getting younger players in and selling them for money he would be the first one that we kind of started that with, and if we then lost him for a free, that would kind of go against the whole philosophy of what we're trying to do now. But I mean, if he stayed on for another season and we put our money in other places, more than happy with like him being there, because there is a player there. He's a really good right back, and I think he's got more to give, especially if he can stave off some injuries. Ben Killip, obviously, we all said in it for a second or third choice keeper, spot on, and then obviously Dazelle, given obviously us staying up, triggered. Is another year. I would hope that in the summer we might add another year on that, because that would give us some protection and because if he keeps playing the way he did last season, other clubs are going to be interested. So you want some protection there. You don't want to get to like January and people sniffing around him in his last 6 months of contract and then maybe looking to move on for nothing. And then I suppose with all the players gone, let go. The only one again, which is it's a shame, isn't it? But I think it was always going to happen. It was obviously Yengi, because from what we had of Yengi last season, obviously we got promoted. We were hoping we were going to see that Yengi this season, but it just didn't happen. And as Messino said, I just don't think it's worth the risk. And we can maybe put that money spent on Yengi into other areas or into another striker.
That's it, Russ. And with Swanson, his availability, he's played 24 games this season for us in the Championship, and his availability has gradually is increasing. So although he's still kind of missed a good chunk of the season, having that availability increase season on season since he's been here, or certainly over the last few seasons where he had the abdominal surgery, having that availability is probably what got him, because he's clearly a Championship player. It's just the availability that probably maybe just kind of made it a bit of a choice rather than an easy decision.
Yeah. You know, Swanson is one that the only thing I've had the issue with is, for me, by now he should have the right back as his position, and we should be all wanting him to sign a longer deal, let alone just extend it. But I'm glad we ain't just got rid of him. That there's a player there. He either needs to kick on or we get rid whilst he's still worth something. So that's a choice between the player and the club. What they want to do. He's 24. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
So I think I said it last week or the week before. He's starting to get to that Jesse Lingard age where you still think he's a youngster and actually he's not.
Well, this will be his 4th season with us.
Exactly, and
So,
that's what I mean. Like, you'd think by now he should have nailed it down, really. And maybe you could fault with injuries, but even when he comes back, he's not first choice right back. I mean, it's still up in the air who it is between the three of them. And then it gives good, but it also gives good competition, which is what you always want. I'm happy he signed. I'm quite happy with the whole list, to be honest. Although I am sad about Yengi, I think it's definitely the right thing to do, but it is a sad situation. Massive drop off.
yeah, and I think if it was this time like last season, after the impact he'd had in League One, he felt quite raw, but he still had some massive impact. Obviously, Peterborough and Bolton. He had the games where he made the impact, and even Barnsley, the last game where we won the title, he had that Panenka, didn't he? That penalty. But we can't afford to carry passengers, and unfortunately, based on this season, we can't. And it's similar with when we came to the end of last season, where we let go like Rafferty and we let go Raggett. You can't just let like emotion on how well you feel that it's gone, and the emotion of they've won us the league, let's keep them. You've got to make sure that you're ready for the Championship, and it's got to be cutthroat. And unfortunately, he goes into that category because this season he hasn't been good enough. Whether it's through injuries, he's dipped in and out. He's not been fully fit. He's not had the right mindset. I don't know what it is. It could be a whole host of different things put together, right? But this season he hasn't produced, and they're judging on this season. There are better options out there as a second choice striker.
Yeah, and the problem is he hasn't showed any glimpses this season. I mean, if you look at like Swanson, he's not been totally at it, but you've seen in games where you think he's been really good. Like, I'm more than happy for us to give him that other year contract, that sort of stuff. But with Yengi, he hasn't, like, unfortunately, and it is really sad because I wanted him to like really succeed and push on even more, because he seems like a generally like sound lad, and like he seems like a really good character, a bit like Sadie. Do you know what I mean? But unfortunately, he didn't really show anything at all. There wasn't even the one game where you think, oh, he was absolutely spot on. He was unplayable. Like when he first started, and he like his first game against Bolton, you could see he grew into it. And he started in like the first couple of minutes, he struggled with Santos, but then after that, he grew into the game. With all the other performances this season, he hasn't done it. It is really sad.
And talking of Yengi, I saw today he's been linked with going to Plymouth. So I think that would actually be quite a good pickup for him, because I would imagine they're going to lose Bundu. So having Yengi as I don't know whether he'd be first choice there or second choice again, but having him available in League One is going to be a good signing for them.
Yeah, maybe him going to Plymouth, and then maybe one of the players on my list comes to us in a spot.
I wonder who that could be.
Never know.
Talking about other players, obviously there's everyone else's that we haven't mentioned is all remain under contract, but one player that has been told he is able to leave if he wants to, he's not being forced out, is Christian Sadie, which I think he does divide whether he should go or not. He certainly does between us. I think you guys would be more than happy to keep him. But whereas I don't think he's good enough. I think he's had moments throughout both seasons he's been here. Last season, obviously, Oxford at home when he scored that goal to kind of when the wall of noise came out. That kind of sticks in your mind. But then this season again, he's done okay. Obviously, he got the 2 goals against Middlesbrough at the beginning of the season. He started off quite well and then kind of dipped off and then had a good positive end to the season. But overall, I don't really feel he's contributed enough. And again, it comes down to the passengers thing. I mean, when he came on against Hull, was it Hull? No, Watford, sorry. When he came on and him, Richie and Devlin were literally just taking out people and getting the bunda out and everything like that kind of part of his game is good, but how often do you need that in that kind of instance? How desperate are you for that? To me, I think Messino's position is right. I wouldn't be against keeping him, but he would be quite far down the pecking order. But I mean, I think Russ, I think you'll take. Do you want to have a quick say on Sadie?
Yeah. As I've said before, what a lovable character to have. But I'm just a big believer in he's not good enough for the Championship. I wouldn't be upset if he stayed, but if I was manager, I'd be looking to get rid all day long.
Daz?
Yeah, I agree with Russ. It's one of them. I'm always of the saying that only if you can get better. There's no point in moving him on if you're not going to get better. And he does have a part to play. It's a shame that at the latter stages of this season, it was a small amount of games where he looked really useful. It's just a shame it wasn't like a bigger sample size. Maybe you're looking at maybe January or stuff like that, like because you're giving him the first 6 months to get used to Championship football, and then he kicks on. It's just a really small amount of games, which is sad. I mean, as I said, he won't stand in his way if he wants to leave. So that's not saying he's going. That's not saying he's staying. So it's up to Sadie what he wants to do now. Like, does he want to stay and fight for his place, or do? And I haven't got an issue because if Messino said to him, "Look, you're not going to play a lot next season," so he wants to go and play football. Fair play. But then if he wants to say, "Look, that's fine, but I'm going to stay and fight for my place," again, that's fine with me. I think with Yengi going, I think that frees up another space, especially with Omani and that sort of stuff going. If Yengi did stay, then I definitely would think there's not a place for Sadie. But with Yengi going, I think that can keep him in there if we get another couple of strikers in.
That's it. And then another player where he's returned to his parent club is along with Freddie Parts and Mark Omani and the rest of them is Rob Atkinson, who in an interview with the News said he would be absolutely buzzing, as a quote, to sign for us permanently next season. But he also said it would be good to stay at Bristol City.
Well, you pissed a lot of Bristol City fans off, didn't he?
Well,
oh mate, if I was a Bristol City fan, I'd be pissed.
Now it feels a bit like we're getting a bit back from when Michael Morrison was twerking for Cambridge a few years ago, when he literally wanted to suck them off all day long and he didn't really want to be here. It feels like that's now happening again. I think with Atkinson, he knows if he was to move here, he would be pretty much guaranteed to start every game that he is fit, because he would be the best centre back at the club. Whereas at Bristol City, I know he's come back from a 2-year injury, but he was fully fit from the beginning of the season. Yet he still found himself out of the team and not being picked. He might have been on the bench on occasion, but he wasn't being regularly. He wasn't getting the minutes. Hence why they loaned him out, even though he was fit. So whether Liam Manning doesn't fully fancy him, because obviously I don't. He wasn't Liam Manning's signing. So it'll be interesting to see. I think with a year left on his deal, a deal could be done for him. But with a player having desire to leave as well, because clearly he wants to be playing, and with a year left, I feel like there's a deal to be done. So, Russ, what kind of fee do you think? Just over $1 million, maybe? Something like that?
Yeah, I think that's a fair 1.2, something like that. I think that'd be fair enough. I don't think they really can ask for much for a player that hasn't really played for much for 2 years. I reckon you could even get him for less than that, especially if he's wanting out as well. Do you know what I mean?
It would. It's just. I understand the absolutely buzzing to sign for us permanently, right? I get that because he has had a really really successful loan spell, and it's good that we've had another loanee who's after so many like Owen Dale, Miguel Aziz, Dane Scarlett, where the loan market hasn't worked in our favour. Whereas someone like last season obviously had Tino Angerin, despite being injured, played a big part. Alex Robertson, Abu Kamara, and then this season having like Rob Atkinson and Freddie Potts, having that successful loan, it's given him an idea of what life could be like here. And I understand the absolutely buzzing bit. The only bit that I think he said wrong was it would be good. He's basically saying he'd rather be here than be at Bristol City, is kind of how it comes across. He might not have meant that, and when you say something, it might come out
Well,
wrong.
did
And
he
then,
mean it? Did he
yeah,
want to piss people off doing?
no, of course.
Maybe.
When you say something, you say it, and he's probably thought, "Oh shit, I didn't." It probably didn't mean it in that way, but the way it's been taken by the Bristol City fans is he'd rather be at Portsmouth. Whereas he's probably like going, "Yeah, you know what? If Pompey came up available, yeah, I'll take that." But I'm also really happy. Like, I'm good with being at Bristol City as well. It's just if you could hear him speak those words, it's probably more understanding than reading it off a piece of paper or reading it online, because you can't understand how they're saying it
I'm
through it.
still convinced he wants to come here.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, me too.
convinced
Fully,
by it.
fully me too. But I'm trying to kind of explain like the way it comes across. But
And also, is he a Manning centre back? Like
No.
no,
because
he was there before Manning
and they
arrived.
really want to play out from the back. And I'm not saying Atkinson can't, because he can, because we also do that, but we don't do it all the time. We had to adapt, didn't we? Because we couldn't be just possession based. We had to go a bit longer, and obviously Bishop coming out back helped us with that. I don't know. Obviously, you need to speak to a Bristol City supporter to really know, because they've seen them all season. But it just seems the way Bristol City want to play. I mean, we saw it at home. They would continue to play at the back no matter what. And I don't know if Atkinson is that the kind of centre back.
So I think we'll move on. I don't think there's really much else to say about the retained list. We've kind of discussed the articles that have come out. We've discussed that. So we'll go on to our pre-season predictions from this season just gone, or the end of. First of all, have you both got what you said?
I have, yeah.
I haven't.
I've got what we've all said. 'Cause I put it in my phone at the time.
Oh, lovely. There you go.
Well,
I knew Russ was going to be prepared, so that's why I knew I didn't need to.
So, Russ, do you want to? I'll let you take this bit. You can go through and say what we said.
Yeah, okay. So, obviously, correct me if I'm wrong. For the bottom three, you had Plymouth to finish bottom, Oxford to finish 23rd, and Blackburn to finish 22nd.
I did indeed. 1 out of 3 is all right.
Yeah, not too bad. I actually think your predictions are probably better than mine and Daz's. I think mine and Daz were way off with a lot of things. Pompey to finish 17th, which is only 1 out.
Yeah.
And then your top 6, you had Norwich to finish 6th, Luton to finish 5th. But then you did have Coventry 4th, Sheffield United 3rd, Burnley 2nd, and Leeds 1st. So the top 3 were bang on.
Yeah, I was really hoping that on the last day, that's how it finished.
So you managed to get 3 bang on. Did Coventry finish 5th? So you're
Yeah,
one
they
out
did.
there.
And I had Coventry as my dark horses as well. So
Pompey to finish 17th, 1 out. Plymouth finished 23rd.
yeah, Cardiff finished bottom, didn't they?
Yeah, so you're 1 out there. So it's not too bad. Daz, you also had Plymouth to finish 24th. Derby to finish 23rd, but Millwall to finish 22nd. Pompey to finish 18th. So there's only 2 out. Your top 6, Middlesbrough 6th. Sheffield Wednesday 5th. Luton 4th. And then you had the top 3 writers they're in the top 3, but not in the correct order. You had Burnley 3rd, Leeds 2nd, Sheffield United 1st.
Yeah.
So, there. And then mine is just as bad, so don't worry.
But the thing is, it's one of those, isn't it? The top 3, I think we all had those.
Top 3, we all had the 3, yeah.
And then the rest is just, I mean, as I said, like it's one of those things you could throw a dart at the wall and see where it lands, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't think any of us expected Luton to finish 3rd from bottom.
No.
They finished 3rd from bottom, didn't they? And then Plymouth were 2nd from bottom, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, I was just going. All you got to look at is the fact that Bristol City came 6th in the playoffs, and they were closer to the relegation than they were to Sheffield United in 3rd. So that's how close. That's how close it was, and that's how it's almost, apart from basically the clubs with parachute pavements, bar Luton, it's almost unpredictable, because you look at Blackburn and Millwall and Middlesbrough were right up there as well. Middlesbrough fell away a bit, but Blackburn and Millwall certainly were up close. And if there was a couple more games on the season, I think they'd have probably got in.
Well, if Blackburn hadn't shit the bed for about 2 months, they would have been all right.
Yeah. Well, if they conceded a goal, they would have finished 6th.
Yeah, because it was like 2. Was it like over 2 months? Like the period we beat them, and they lost like.
Yeah, they lost like 6 or 7 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah, and like even if they'd have like just won 2 of those games, do you mean? It's
they missed out by a goal. If they hadn't conceded the last game, they would have finished 6th.
But that's what I mean. Like, but if they'd have just won 2 of those 6 or drawn a couple of them, they would have been fine. Yeah. It's just mental. Same with us, though, isn't it? Like, I mean, we were 10 points clear at one point, and if we'd have just picked up a couple of draws in that run where we dropped like down to like 4 points, like it's a lot more comfortable, wouldn't it? I mean, we were very comfortable. We like 3 games left to play. I don't think any of us saw that coming, did we?
I think other than when we were 2-1 down to Derby, we probably were never really. I know we probably felt like we were, but we probably were never really in danger, because all the other teams around us, fans, kept going, "Why are you lot worried? You got nothing to worry about."
Yeah. Well, that's it. That was it, wasn't it? When we scored the equaliser, I think on our WhatsApp group, all 3 of us like, take that, take that, take that.
Yeah, and it proved to be probably the most important goal of the season was that equaliser.
More of a Westlife fan than take that, but I'll take that.
So my prediction, I would say, is probably the worst. Plymouth last, as everyone. I think the whole country, even Plymouth fans, had them last. Derby 23rd and Blackburn 22nd. I think there's 2 of us had Blackburn. Pompey 18th, only 2 off. But then and I can remember what I said about Leeds as well. So I had Stoke 6th, Coventry 5th, Middlesbrough 4th. Had Leeds 3rd, and I remember saying, and they will lose in the playoffs and they will not go up. Only won the league of 100 points. Sheffield United 2nd and Burnley 1st. Good job. I'm better at predicting Pompey results than I am.
Yeah, but that's losing in a playoff final can absolutely do you in, and especially especially when we drew with them at their place, the first game of the season, the amount of pressure that put on them from then.
Well, people were calling for Farke to be sacked after that, weren't they?
Yeah. It's massive, because you have to have a good start, especially against one of the teams that's just been promoted, who are one of the favourites probably to go down, which we probably were, let's face it. And if you're drawing and you were minutes away from losing the game, it puts a lot of pressure on.
Yeah. I'm just glad I didn't have Luton in the top 6, so that's my only claim.
Well, I thought because they kind of almost built a championship super team, didn't they, in the Premier
100%.
League?
Yeah, that's what
And it feels like Ipswich have done the same. So I hope that Ipswich don't actually do what a Luton.
I don't think they will, because I think they're set up. Like, the problem is with Luton is they were set up the way Rob Edwards wants to play, which isn't exactly easy on the eye, I don't think. And so in the Championship, I think it's harder to play that way.
Yeah. Right. So what we learn is I'm best at predictions, and then Russ is good at predicting Pompey scores, and then Daz is just neither.
I'm just.
Daz's time frame's going to extend if you don't hurry up.
I'm getting it sorted. As I said, it's not that easy. As I said, most I know my family is like, well, some of them are Saints, but I don't see
picked it because we thought surely someone has, even if it was just an old shirt, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean?
But most of my good mates, they're all like, I was drinking one earlier, like Spurs fans. My brother's a United fan, got Liverpool, Arsenal. Like, there's a reason I ain't got many Saints fans as friends, because like, I don't like them. Because we've grown up with them. So all my mates that support other teams don't like Saints because we've grown up around them. So yeah, and even my dad hasn't got us. Well, he's got a couple of Saints shirts, but they're like Van Dykes, and they're up on the wall because he used to cut his garden. So I can't. Excuse me, Dad, can I just take that down off the wall for you?
Just smash it and
I
don't tell
would.
them.
Take it down, take a photo, and put it back up.
Yeah.
You will never know.
Right. So the next part we're going to do is between the three of us, we decided there were 3 positions where we kind of want to focus our attention on with this summer transfer window. So we all picked between 3 and 5 players for our positions. So I went for midfield. Daz went for striker or forward line.
Yeah, centre forward.
And Russ, yours was
Wingers.
So between us, we've kind of picked up a few players. They vary from fees to frees to I've got a loan in there to look at, which people I'm sure will love. So let's go straight in. Well, I'll start because
I've got a feeling me and Daz have got the same player because I've got someone who can play as a wing and up front.
So my first player is Ryan Ledson, who's just left Preston on a free transfer. He's played over 200 times for them over 7 years. He's an established championship level central midfielder, and he will bring a wealth of experience and ability into our midfield, which we currently need. Bearing in mind, our midfield contracted currently is only Marlon Pack, Abdoulaye Kamara, and Andre Dazelle. Sorry,
And
obviously,
Terry Devlin, because he plays where he wants.
well, he doesn't count because he just plays where he wants, right? He could be a goalkeeper if he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
You have got Ruben Swan as well, but he's not really in the first team picture at the minute, so I'm not really counting him. So yeah, Ryan Ledson, number 1, not in any order particularly. Second is
I've got an order.
I don't know, because I've got kind of with midfield, you've got kind of central midfielders, you've got 6s, you've got 10s, you've got a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Next is Albie Morgan at Blackpool. He still is under contract, so would command a fee, but
Good shout there.
He's a very, very good player for Blackpool in League One, and I feel he could step up and would be a pretty decent central midfielder. Even if it was a rotation option, it would definitely improve our rotation available. Next is an attacking midfielder / winger, kind of, but it would command a fee, but is, I would say, unlikely, but it's still some I'd look at, is Thello Asgard from Luton. Obviously, he only just moved there in January from Wigan, but with the Norwegian national team manager coming out and saying he needs to leave Luton, basically because he's not going to pick him. He's not going to pick him for the national team if he's playing in League One. I figure he could probably be looking to wanting out already. So you could be potentially get a deal. You might be able to look for a player swap plus cash. If you can, you might be able to get a Sadie or a Paddy Lane in there or something, plus a bit of cash. For Asgard, I think that's a good option. More back to central midfield. Lincoln, centre midfielder. Ethan, I'm going to really butcher his last name. Eraharan. Do you know who I'm on about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for you to see how you pronounce it, because that's how I would have done it.
Erhohan, whatever.
I know who you mean though.
Again, real top quality. I know plenty of championship teams are looking at him, would command quite a decent fee, but he's fairly young. He's one of those that even if you still sign for 1 to 2 million, which is probably what it could command, you're still going to be able to sign him in 4 or 5 years' time, maybe. There is a sell-on value there if you can. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful, he's tall. He's got kind of everything you need. He'll have the physicality for the championship. And then last one is an attacking midfielder again, is Jamie Donnelly, who is from Spurs, would be a loan signing.
Yeah, I see someone linking him with us already. Is that true?
I haven't seen that, but bearing in mind he's been on loan at Leyton Orient this season in the Championship, in League One. He's been pretty much a mainstay. He struggled to settle in the first few months, but ever since then, Richie Wellens has pretty much had him in playing every game, either as the 10 or as kind of like an inside forward, kind of close to the main striker in Charlie Kelman. He's got quite a few assists and quite a few goals. He's got good technique, and I think it would be a good loan. I think Spurs would be looking to loan him up at upper league next season, up from League One, and it would give you something different to Callum Lang. Jamie Donnelly is more of I would say, like a luxury player, if that makes sense. He likes time on the ball, which we might not necessarily have a lot, but will be moments where teams might be down to 10 men or something. He's got that ability to play a pass. He's got a wand of a left foot. He's got a really, really good technique of the ball. He can happily score goals. He's almost kind of got like a striker's technique of scoring, but he has that creative technique as well. So yeah, they're my 5. I'd probably say 2 of them are probably realistic, but it depends how much I think midfield is probably our biggest worry going into next season. So if you want to go out for it, there's some of the names I'll chuck in. Right, Russ, we'll go to you. We'll work our way up the pitch. So we'll go to wingers next.
Okay, well, I've got 4. I've got one that's very unlikely, but I have to say him, which is the Poku from Peterborough. I think if there weren't a Birmingham around, we might be in with a shout. 23 years old, 12 goals and 8 assists in 27 games is pretty good for a team that sort of struggled, really, didn't he, in League One?
And he's been injured for about 3 months as well.
Yeah, but chances sign him a little, but if there was a possibility, snap him up all day long. I've gone for a player called Javon Makama, who is a right winger. I don't know if I pronounced that right, by the way. From Lincoln. He was a striker, but they've moved him out wide, and since they have, he managed to score 7 goals and get 6 assists. He's only young, got loads of potential. They seem to see him as a player that will probably leave this summer and go on to bigger, better things. So sort of fits our sort of transfer mould of, sort of buying young with potential and possibly, if they hit it, move on. Another one is from Blackpool called Rob Apter. I think, again, I've pronounced that right. Another right winger, 22 years old. Has got a really good record where he's been on loan. Tranmere last season, or the season before, sorry, because obviously the season's ended. He scored 13 times, getting 6 assists. And then with Blackpool last season, he scored 8 goals, getting 3 assists. Really pacey winger who I've watched quite a lot of today and really caught my eye. So I think he sort of fits our model. And my number 1 pick is probably, I reckon you've got him, Daz, especially after what you said earlier, because he can play up front and on the wing, and that's Mustafa Bunda. Have you got him, Daz?
No, it's not actually.
All right, okay, cool. Because I didn't realise that he's a free agent.
I did see something on Twitter X, like either today or yesterday, where people like Plymouth fans were sort of saying about him, and it looks like they've offered him a bit of a bad contract, like less money, which is obviously understandable, but less money and that sort of stuff. So
he's been. They've offered him a new deal. Apparently, it's a shit one.
How old is he?
He's 28, so he's
okay.
For a freebie. Got 10 goals, 6 assists. Can play up front or on the wing. Can play in a free. He also even played in the 10 sometimes. So for me, out of all of them I've said, he'd be the one I would go out and get. It wouldn't cost anything.
Yeah.
Is a no-brainer to get, like we said with Murphy, to get things like 16 goal contributors in a struggling team in the Championship. Where do I sign him? And if I remember right, he scored and looked good against us as well.
He did, yes.
Yeah.
So that would be my number one pick for the wing this summer. I didn't really. It wasn't until I looked at all the out of contract players and his name come up that I even thought about him.
Decent. Right, Daz.
Right, just before I start, just watching obviously the Wycombe Charlton game, and I've just seen Sam Vokes has got like a plaster on arm. Apparently he broke it. Harry, do you remember that story I told you? I saw him on the train. I shook his hand.
Yes, I do.
That's the same arm. You be the judge of what happened, not me.
What? Right. You meeting a footballer and making it an awkward time? Not you.
But I broke
not
his
you,
arm.
Daz.
I broke his arm.
Super Matty Ritchie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but we're talking about Sam Vokes. He's a scummer. He's got a broken arm now. That's the same hand I shook the other day. So.
Did he punch you? Did he? Must have punched you then.
Yeah. Wow. Solid. Right. Let's get down to business. Well. To be honest, I thought I was going to have a couple of players that we might have to spend a bit of money on, a loan and a free, but it actually turns out that loan could be a free. So, I mean, at the top of my list, just because I do like him as a player and he's been a pain in our arse every time I played against him, is Ryan Hardy. This season, he's made 37 appearances, but I know he was injured for a bit, and obviously when he came back, I think he was one of the main reasons they had a chance to stay up towards the end of the season. 10 goals, 3 assists, really good pace. I know he's 28. I don't know when his birthday is, so he might be moving into 29 by the time the summer comes around and into next season. On transfer market, it's got him down as 1.8 million. With his age, and the fact that Plymouth got relegated, I don't know whether that will more likely come down than anything. So it might be like the fact of it, just over $1 million or $1.5 million we can maybe get him. But you're getting a really good forward, experienced, and can do it in the Championship. So for me, that would be a no-brainer. The one I thought would be a loan that actually turns out his contract from transfer market runs out this season is Charlie Kelman at Leyton Orient. Well, I think he's at QPR on loan to Leyton Orient. Watched him last night. I like him. He's 23. It's got him a transfer market. It's 350k, but obviously if he's on a free, that wouldn't matter anyway. The only stumbling block I think we might have with him is that if Leyton Orient go up through the playoffs, he might be tempted to stay there. But I mean, if we looked at Josh Murphy last season, he went up with Oxford through the playoffs, and we still managed to bring him across. So you never know. That could be one. I do like him. He's a good age, and he Russ. When you said about a player that can also play on the wing, they've got Charlie Kelman down as also being able to play on the right side. So that could be a good option, and especially with the fact I think the right side of our midfield, like the right winger, is somewhere where we need to concentrate on as well. So he could do that. My next one, which I think is a bit out of our reach, probably considering how much Luton offered for him in January, be no surprise he's playing tonight. It's Richard Kone. It said on Transfer Market it's got a 300k transfer, but the fact that Luton came in, do we remember what Luton came in with? It was a good couple of. It was good,
six, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, I mean, if Wickham stay down and no one else come in for him, I know Luton went for that amount of money, but that was just they were gambling, wasn't it? Like, so you never know. 41 appearances, 18 goals, 3 assists in League One. He's a good striker, but obviously this is his first season playing professional football. So is it just no, you can never be a fluke, but is it will he have a bit of a second season syndrome? We don't know.
Look at John Marquis. He managed to be top scorer in League One, didn't he? And then went shit again.
But his second season syndrome happened over and over again. But it looks. And then my last one, and I don't know if it's left field or anything like that, but I think it's a one that Pompey fans have spoken about since the retained list came out. Is Emil Reese Jakobsen from Preston, 26. Obviously, his contract expired, so he's been released. He's on as a free. 45 appearances, 12 goals, 2 assists. I think he would fall in the sort of bracket that is doable, and a player when he's played against us, I've liked him. I thought he looked good. I mean, I need to watch more Preston games to realise what he's like, but I mean, he's been a Preston player since 2020, I think it was. So he's been a Championship player for the last 4 or 5 years. So you're getting a Championship player in that. So yeah, they're my top 4. They're my 4. If I was going to rank them, Ryan Hardy would be top of my list. Then along maybe with Jakobsen, Kelman, and Kone would be at the bottom, mainly because of the amount of money it would cost, and maybe that second season syndrome. We'd maybe have to give him another season first.
All right, there we go. There are choices for who we should sign in the positions that are probably most needed, where we get into this summer. So next is the end of season quiz. Russ.
Right. So what I do for today, I'm going to trust you boys. So basically just going to do a typical pub quiz where I ask a question, you both write an answer, and we go through the answers at the end. You can write on your phone if you want, wherever you need to. I
will get my little notebook out. Hang on.
I've got a notepad. I'll just note that down.
So basically, what I've done is 10 questions. They literally are a question from August, a question for September, all the way to May.
All right, I'm ready.
Ready, Daz?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Right, question 1, which is the August question. Who was Pompey's last signing in the summer transfer window?
Shit. Right.
Who was Pompey's last signing in the summer transfer window? When you both got an answer, let me know, and I'll move on to September.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, question 2, September. Pompey scored 1 goal in September. Who scored the goal and who was it against? You get a point for both answers. I'm obviously trusting you boys not to cheat as well.
Nah, it's fine.
No, I wouldn't be doing that.
Yep. Good when you're ready.
Yep.
Okay, right. Question 3. Schmid made his debut in October, but who was it against?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 4. Pompey played 4 games in November. How many points did they collect?
Sorry, say that one again.
Pompey played 4 games in November. How many points did they collect?
I'm ready.
Yeah, go on.
Question 5. In December, who was Pompey's last game against of 2024?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Question 6. In January, Pompey received the only red card of the season. Who was the player and who was it against?
When, sorry, was that?
In January, Pompey received the only red card of the season. Who was the player and who was it against?
Yeah.
They're both yes?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Question 7. Can you name both goal scorers versus QPR after winning 2-1 in February?
Yeah. Right then, Daz.
Yeah, my fucking paper's falling off my fucking lap. Just rustling. Go on.
Right. Question 8. In March, Pompey beat Leeds 1-0. What minute was Bishop's goal scored in? I'll give you 2 points if you get it exactly, and 1 point, 2 minutes either side.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Just going to guess this one. Go on.
Question 9. How many ex-Pompey players did Pompey play against in April and name them? You get a point per answer.
Oh, fucking hell. That's... I don't even remember who
Jesus.
played in April.
Fucking hell.
Can't be all
Did we
too
play
easy.
in
Or is
April?
it boring? That's like the nearest month.
Okay.
So have we got to just name them, or have we got to name
how many?
The number?
How many, and then name them. So you get an extra point for getting the correct number as well.
Well, I've got one name, so that'll do. I've got an answer.
Yeah. So if you say you guessed 6, but you could only think of 2, you would still get the point for the 6 if that was correct, and then the 2 names. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Right. Last question
Yeah.
then. Question 10. In May, Pompey finished the season with a 1-1 draw, with Sadie scoring for Pompey, but who got the assist?
Fucking hell.
It was only a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. Was he still there? Was he on the pitch when that happened?
Okay, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, done.
Cool. Right. Let's go through the answers then. Question 1. Who was the last signing of the summer transfer window?
Bauer?
Who have you gone for, Daz? Daz? Hello?
Daz, have you died? He's gone. He's had enough.
Okay. Right. We'll carry on anyway. Bauer was correct.
Because he literally signed, and then the window shut, and then like 2 days later, he decided that he didn't want to play.
Yeah. Pompey scored 1 goal in September. Who scored and who was it against?
Well, I said Callum Lang.
Yep.
But I didn't get the goal. I didn't get the team.
Okay. Well, it was definitely Lang, and it was against Burnley.
Right.
Question 3 was Schmid made his debut in October. Who was it against?
See, I put QPR, but I don't think that's right.
No, it wasn't right. It was Oxford.
Was it at home to Oxford, was it?
It was. QPR was the following week.
I couldn't remember if he made his debut at home or not.
Question 4. Pompey played 4 games in November. How many points did they collect?
7?
No, it was 5. So that was a win against Preston and 2 draws against Swansea and Hull.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Question 5. In December, who was Pompey's last game against?
Bristol City?
Correct. In January, Pompey received their only red card. Who was the player and against?
Marlon Pack against Derby.
No, it was Marlon Pack against Sunderland.
Oh, yeah, it was Sunderland, wasn't it?
You get the point for Pack. Can you name both the goal scorers versus QPR?
Josh Murphy.
Yep.
And Conor Ogilvie?
No, it was Matt Ritchie.
Oh, yeah, because he nearly missed, didn't he?
Yeah. In March, Pompey beat Leeds 1-0. What minute was Bishop's goal scored?
Hello, sorry, my phone just died for some random reason. I have no idea what happened.
So we carried on. So
Right.
quickly catch you up. Who did you have for question 1?
Harvey Blair?
No, it was Bowat.
Oh,
Who did you have for question 2?
Burnley?
It was Burnley and the goal scorer.
Hold on, what was the question? Burnley and the goal scorer for us?
Yeah, so it was who scored the only goal that month and who was it against?
Oh, Lang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 3.
Oxford.
What game did Schmidt make his debut against?
Was it Oxford?
It was Oxford. Probably played 4 games in November. How many points did they collect?
I guessed at 7.
It was 5.
Oh,
Who was the last game against for 2024?
Watford?
No, it's Bristol City.
Oh, was that on the 29th, was it? Oh.
It was. In January, Pompey received their only red card of the season. Who was it against and who was the player?
Sunderland and Pack.
Correct on both. Who scored against QPR at home?
Murphy and Ritchie.
Correct. And then this is where we are. So in March, Pompey beat Leeds 1-0. What minute did Bishop score his goal?
71.
I said 72.
Oh, no, it's the 61st.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah,
Was it as early as that?
it was.
I can remember a 1 in it.
How many Pompey players did we play against in April, and can you name them?
I guessed 8. just why not?
Right. Who are they then?
You've got to say how many you've guessed first.
Well, I guessed 3.
Okay, so neither got the number right. It was 4.
4.
Yeah.
Well, I did have 4, but I didn't think Lowe played. It might not have. But I had Harness, Clark, and Bernard. And then I did have Lowe, but I crossed him out because I didn't think he played.
So I had Harness and Clark and Kamara.
Kamara was in May.
Yeah.
So it was Harness, Smith, Clark, and Mendes Lang.
Oh, Smith and Mendes Lang. Oh, yeah. Oh, well.
Number 10, in May, Pompey finished the season with a 1-1 draw. Steady scorer, and who got the assist?
It was one of the centre-backs because Ritchie stepped over it. I don't know. I think it's Atkinson.
Who? Regan Paul.
No, it was Marlon Pack.
Oh, I couldn't remember because it came from deeper because Ritchie stepped over it and that allowed Sadie to come in. I couldn't remember who played that ball.
Pack dropped in deep to do it, didn't he?
Yeah, and to be fair, that's what he's pretty good at. Like, I love him when he does that.
So, how many did you boys get? Who won?
I don't even
I
know.
got 7.
So I got Blair wrong. I got Burnley and Lang. Oxford got right. 7 wrong. Watford wrong. Pack, Sunderland, Murphy. Do I get 2 for the?
Yeah, Pat Sunderland and the Burnley Lang is point for each answer.
So
Murphy Ritchie is a point for each answer.
So the players that we named, do we get a point for those, or?
Yep.
But we don't.
Sorry, I've got 8. Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I've got. No, hold on, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow, Daz, you redeemed yourself.
Yes, right.
He won something.
Fuck you.
Brilliant.
Not bitter at all, are you?
Mate, I hold on to it. I'm very bitter. I could be bitter for years. I hold on to a grudge.
You're the one that has to wear a Scummer shirt, not me. So,
What?
right. So, Daz won the end of season quiz, and now it's time for Russ's favourite part of the week.
That's the real quiz.
That's right. It is Russ's favourite part of the week. It is Harry's Who Am I?
I'm going to miss it though for the next few months.
Well, that's why we're going to do a little bumper episode to keep your drug habit fulfilled.
Russ, you're going to have to get your son to start thinking up, like, I don't know what your nipper is, but it could be his Who Am I? So
James's Who Am I?
Doesn't have the same ring to it, I'm afraid.
Nah, it doesn't.
Right. I can't remember which one I did last week. Episode 30. Right, okay, we're on this one. Right, so the first one.
Last week was the Darren Moore, wasn't it?
No, Jason Pearce.
Yeah, it was another Hail Mary, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, you got the Hail Mary last week, that's right.
Right, clue number 1 for your first player. I played for Kangzhou Mighty Lions.
Brilliant. Love to know where they play.
That sounds like
in the Chinese Super League.
Oh, okay. Totally on the other side.
So repeat the question again now.
I played for Kangzhou Mighty Lions in the Chinese Super League.
Right.
If that was like when the Chinese Super League was really popular for like the one season.
How long ago was that? Before COVID, obviously.
That was a proper journeyman's league, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because the Saudi league, don't get me wrong, is a bit as well, but it's not as like journeyman. Placement. I'm just gonna have a guess. Lauren.
Did he go out there after us? Didn't Prozinecki go somewhere like that? Or Japan? I'll just say Prozinecki because I know he went Middle East.
Prozinecki seems like the sort of player that just go to Japan. I don't know why.
Well, I felt like I'm sure he stayed around there after the World Cup.
Well, my missus is out in Tokyo at the moment. I might message her in a minute and see if she knows.
What? Is Prozinecki out there, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Clue number 2. I played with Michael Morrison, Nadir Satifki, or however you say it, and Callum Lang, but not at Pompey.
Did Lang play for anyone else other than Wigan?
Could be youth, innit? He's a Scouser. Was he at Everton? I think he might be an Everton fan. I mean, that doesn't mean he played for Everton youth. Because he was at Everton's. I saw his picture. He was at Goodison the other day. He's on holiday with Zach Swanson, Charlie Hughes. And,
they're all in LA, aren't they?
Yeah, Jamie Carragher's nipper. And I saw Tom Lowry sneaking in there as well, actually.
I remember Nadir Kifty went to Turkey after us. And then I remember he went to Celtic and Dundee. Scotland,
yeah.
didn't it?
Was he at Sheffield
Plymouth,
Wednesday at some point?
He could have been.
I know. I've got Sheffield Wednesday, mate. That was the first club I thought.
Yeah, they're the clubs I remember.
Yeah.
The Turkish, I can't remember, they're like Karanspor. Dundee, Celtic, and Plymouth. Wherever else he went, I have no idea.
Michael Morrison could be like.
Was he ever at a Scottish club or Plymouth?
He was at what? Cardiff? Us? Well, not for us, was it? Cambridge? Again, Morrison, he's a bit older, isn't he? So it could be his youth set up from years ago. What Everton like sort of, because I can't see it being Wigan for Lang. I reckon that's Everton Academy or Liverpool Academy. I got a feeling he was at Everton's Academy. I know he came also through Wigan's.
Went through. I was going to say, I'm sure he come through.
But he might have also been young at Everton at younger, then got released and then went to Wigan. Because you've got a lot of Scousers that have gone to Wigan, haven't you?
You know what? I'm just going to go for a Scottish player, Clark Robinson.
Right, who?
Lang might have had loads of loans while he was young. You don't know, do we?
That's very true. Who's played for in the Scottish League for Celtic and Dundee? Have we had? Jesus Christ, this is a tough one. I'm going to go for. I'm just going to say it. Kawagachi. Makes sense, doesn't it? It makes the most sense.
What the hell did he play with Callum Lang?
I don't know, but he's played out that. He must have played out that way.
Clue number 3. I was called up to the Nigeria national team, but was an unused sub.
Oh, this is just going to be someone we've completely forgotten about, isn't it?
I don't know. Who could that be?
Oh, the only Nigerian I can think of recently is fucking Solomon Ottenbor. So I'm just going to say him. Viv.
Hey!
I didn't even get it. I was about to go Viv. Dickhead can't fucking stay on side Solomon Ottenbor. Ruined it. You ruined it. Was that actually? I didn't know what that was. Complete enough to guess. I just
That was him, yeah.
Shit Nigerian player we've had, and he was the first to come to mind.
So he played with Michael Morrison at Birmingham, Nadir Stifke at St Johnstone.
No, so there's another Scottish club he played for.
And Callum Lang was Wigan.
Oh, of course Solomon was there at Wigan, wasn't he? Yeah, of course he was.
Right. Next one.
I helmet this week.
Clue number 1. Pompey was one of 3 English clubs I made an appearance for.
3 English clubs, did you say?
Correct.
Could still mean he's abroad. Could be anyone.
3 English clubs.
Could be a player.
Sorry, did you say in the Premier?
Pompey was one of 3 English clubs I made an appearance for.
I mean, could be Yakubu. How many clubs did he play for? Speaking of Nigerians, maybe you went on a bit of a Nigerian hunt. Who did he play for? Blackburn? Is it Blackburn? Middlesbrough, Everton. Did he go to Blackburn?
Was he? Do you know what? I'm going to go left field. I'm going to go with Matthias Svensson.
Oh, right. Norwich?
I absolutely loved that bloke, by the way.
Here. I absolutely loved him. Was that Norwich? And Charlton, yeah.
And Pompey. I don't think there was anyone else.
There weren't a bad shout.
Mate, when he scored against Leeds away in the FA Cup,
he was a baller.
It's a great goal, that was.
Oh, fuck. I can't get Yakubu out of my head. Yakubu. But I'm sure he played for Blackburn. But that might be Benjani.
Clue number 2. I played with Geordie Hiwula, Craig McGilvery, and Karim Rekic.
That Karim Rekic, the one who played against
the header. Yeah. I thought he was decent for us, even like not just the header. I thought he was good.
The top team now, didn't he? Like Seville or something like that.
Yeah, I think was he was at a Dutch? Was he not at a Dutch team who like got really like quite far in the Champions League? Was he?
I'm sure he played for like quite a plays for like Seville.
Because he came along with the Man City youth striker as well, wasn't it? But he didn't really get going. Is he Italian, the striker? Because we got Rekic and another Man City nipper from Man City that season, and I'm pretty sure he was like an Italian striker. We got as well, but he played like a couple of games.
Yeah,
Rekic
they both come from City, didn't they?
Yeah, Rekic was decent for that season.
So got the other players now. We spent so long on him.
Yeah, what was the
I played with
clue?
Geordie Hiwula, Craig McGilvery, and Karim Rekic.
But not at Pompey.
You need to listen to the question.
Well, we did, but we just forget because we're old.
I played with Geordie Hiwula, Craig McGilvery, and Karim Rekic.
You didn't finish it. You didn't, because you usually say, but not at Pompey. Obviously, that's not this one. So
Rekic and I thought about Benjani earlier, didn't I? And he would have played that same season with Benjani when he came back.
Yeah.
Fuck it, Benjani.
Canoe?
Oh, that's good. Arsenal, West Brom, Pompey.
Clue number 3. I made only 2 appearances for Portsmouth.
Oh, fuck's sake.
During a very unsuccessful loan spell.
Because you're not started with
that
question.
is the longest list of players we could ever have.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So Craig McGilvery, who's he played for? Warsaw. Where did we get him from? Was it Shrewsbury?
Yeah.
And obviously he went to Charlton after us. Then he was at Birth.
He had that unbelievable game against us for Shrewsbury as well, didn't he? Where he literally saved everything.
Yeah, but I think that's what made us sign him, I think.
Craig saves.
Yeah.
But as he said, he didn't say it wasn't for Pompey. So maybe it was...
Mate, that game, he could have stopped COVID. I was going to say something else, but I thought that might not be not good for a podcast.
McGilvery, Rekic, and... Yeah, I'll get the third.
Some of these players could have played it, you know. So McGilvery... Oh, no. Was he in the same team as... No, he wouldn't have been in the same as who... He would have. Wouldn't he?
Who? Played with who?
I can never say his name.
Hiwula.
Because I got a bit of a speech in, but yeah, that's it. Him and Craig McGilvery would have played in the same Pompey team. Because that was a COVID season. And McGilvery was there, and so was he. So was there anyone there who didn't play much?
So they're alone 2 games. This literally could be... This is going to have to be a Hail Mary, I think.
Wow. Yeah, it could be anyone, can it, really?
Oh, it's not Aziz, is it? Or something like that. Was he there with the...
No. Did your dog just shake?
Yeah.
Good boy.
I'm going for Aziz because I'm sure he only played like twice.
I'm trying to think of the COVID season. Who barely played? Because that's what I'm just going to narrow it down to. I don't care about the other clues. Just that Geordie Hiwula, and I'm going to go with that McGilvery. That COVID season, it was the kit with the red down the side bit and with the collar. Oh, who was there that fucking never barely played? Nicholson, he played a decent amount of games, didn't he? The old centre back. The Norwegian or Danish centre back. He played more than a few games, didn't he? Who else did we have on loan that season? We had Harvey.
How many times did George Byers play on loan?
Not many, actually. Yeah, go on. Not many. Maybe more than 2, though. Go on, actually. George Byers, go on.
He got us.
George Byers made double figures appearances for us.
Yeah, I thought he might have.
I forgot.
I
forgot that season. So
most people did. You were actually very close. Luca Scapuzzi, which was the other loanee from Man City.
Oh!
We never got his name. To be fair.
So literally, I said the guy. It was him. Just didn't. I would never have remembered his name.
Yeah,
so
well, that's why I picked him.
And he was Italian.
So when did he play with like McGilvery in that?
So he played with Rekic at Pompey and Man City.
Yeah.
He also played with Harula at Man City. McGilvery was at Walsall.
No, we never. Even if we were sure it was that Italian striker, I never would have got his name.
Yeah. The thing is, you say we forgot about the COVID season. All I remember from the COVID season was Tom Naylor's bangers.
Yeah, and his knee slides.
Literally, he had a Matty Taylor season that season.
He had that one again in the FA Cup where even he turned round and he thought, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, Peterborough, that was a banger. He scored like another 2 bangers, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ipswich, was it?
I think Plymouth away. I think he scored a quality goal.
And then that Kingswood, was it, or Kings Lynn? Or
Kings Lynn. Yeah, that was the FA Cup
funny
one.
enough, all those goals came in the winter. So you be the judge of that.
He was struggling. He was melting the other day when he played in the playoffs.
He must have done.
Well, to be fair, my brother is fair-haired, like maybe on the more ginger side, and he struggles in the summer.
Right. Let's have another one. Oh, I feel like that'll be too easy, that one. Right. Clue number 1. I am the youngest permanent captain in Portsmouth history.
Has Webster ever been captain?
Is that official captain or just played captain one game?
Official captain.
Yeah.
I want to say something like Andy
why
Orford.
It's permanent captain.
I'll say Kit Simon.
Was Andy Orford official captain though? Because he would have been around the time of like Kit Simons, Adrian Whitbread, and I'm pretty sure they were all like.
But Kit Simons was young, wasn't he? So maybe it's Kit Simons. Kit Simons, fuck it.
If it's like official captain, that's at the start of the season. How old was Adrian Whitbread when we had him? Was he young? Do you know what? I'm going to go with Alan Knight. I can't remember if he was captain when he was a nipper. I wasn't alive.
Number 2. I played with Brett Pittman, Denver Hume, and Charlie Daniels, but not at Pompey.
Oh, I knew you would come with that. Was Charlie Daniels at Bournemouth when Pittman was there? You there, Russ? No?
No, he's gone as well now.
Oh, no. Connection issues all over the place. Just me on my own then.
Just you.
I'm playing a lone striker. Charlie Daniels, Brett Pittman, and who was the other? Sorry, the
Denver Hume.
Denver Hume. So that could have been at Sunderland, Grimsby. Don't know if he's played anywhere else. So who have we had played from Sunderland?
He's back.
He's back in the room.
I don't know what happened there. I was talking and I could hear you, but no one could hear me.
Did you hear the second clue?
No, I was still on the youngest captain thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
apparently it was. Hold on, I'll do it. It's a player that played with Bobby Moore, Andy Orford, and Connor Chaplin, but not at the same team.
So it is. I played with Brett Pittman, Denver Hume, and Charlie Daniels, but not at Pompey.
So I was thinking like Bournemouth for Charlie Daniels or maybe Shrewsbury, I suppose. Then Pittman, and I was thinking obviously with Denver Hume, you've either got Sunderland and Grimsby. So I don't think he's played anywhere else, has he? Unless he's been on loan. Why was it Sunderland? Because he's obviously there as a kid. What makes me laugh is that we go through these players and I talk myself out of it.
Yeah. So it's Pittman, Hume,
Daniels.
and Daniels. So I'm sure Hume was just Sunderland only before he's now at Grimsby.
That's not Paul Daniels, is it?
Might be.
No?
Could be Phil.
Also, I'm sure Brett Pittman and Charlie Daniels played together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was Kit Simons that was our youngest captain. Unless it was just like for a one-off game or something.
Have we have guessed Jason Pearce already, haven't we?
He was one a couple of years ago, a couple of episodes ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It must be. It's not Jed. No, do you remember Jed Wallace played with Pittman? Just trying to think of captains that we've had. Wallace was captain, wasn't he? Or then it was Pearce, Lawrence. Definitely wouldn't have been any in the prep. Oh, wasn't Gary O'Neill, was it?
Is that your guess?
But then we've had him before, but I will say Gary O'Neill. Again, I think he wore it maybe once or twice.
Yeah. It's toughy. I'm trying to think. Play with those early 2000s, 2002s. Oh no. I'm trying to imagine people walking out of the tunnel with a captain's armband on. I don't know. I'm just going to go Adam Webster. Just throw it out there. I don't care.
Clue number 3. I was involved in a player plus cash deal to leave Pompey.
Matt Clark.
Is that your guess?
Yeah. Oh, I just realised I misunderstood. Not misunderstood, but we signed him with a player plus. You said we sold him player plus, didn't you?
I said he was involved in a player plus cash deal leaving Pompey.
Yeah, leaving. That's what I mean. But we signed him with the player we did with the Webster thing, wasn't it?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. I realised after I said it, it was got it the wrong way around.
Mate, that's the problem with Harry, mate. He's like Shakespeare, stickler for grammar.
Making sure you're paying attention and not getting lazy.
I'm paying attention, but I'm still lazy.
Every captain I can think of, going all the way back, they're all old.
Yeah, like because I'm just thinking of like when we were like in the shitter. Do you know what I mean? And had no players.
That was Howard, and then it was Ertel, and they weren't young. Then it was who was our captain in the year with Whittingham?
But they wouldn't have played with Daniels, Pittman, and who's the other one?
Hume. Hume's been at Sunderland
all his life, isn't he? But he would have gone out on loan.
Grimsby. Oh, it wasn't Ryan Taylor, was it? Did he come captain under Whittingham at some point?
Is that a guess?
Oh,
Well, I've had my last guess. It's up to Dad.
Oh, of course you have.
Mm.
Hurry up, Daz.
go on, Ryan Taylor. I'll just do that.
This is really going to bug me. Captains should be all over.
Give us a clue.
When do they play?
They played what for Pompey, or
Yeah, when were they captain for Pompey?
they were captain for Pompey. Hang on.
Oh, hello.
They were captain for Pompey in the 09-10 season.
It's not Joel Ward, is it?
Oh, it's not Cabal, is it?
No.
Who was our captain?
09, 010. Oh, no.
So who would have lifted the
Wouldn't be
FA
Joel
Cup
Ward,
that
is it?
year? James. David James was our captain.
No, that's 2008.
So wait,
J-Mo
09,
captained
010?
us in the FA Cup final. I know that.
No, Sol Campbell did.
No, I mean against Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. 07, 08, 08, 09. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, hang on.
So 09 and 10. Huh?
What was it? 09, 010, Harry.
I'm just sorry. No, it's beginning of 10-11. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
that would have been Mark Wilson.
Oh.
It was indeed.
I would have got that. Would have got that.
You only had to wait for about the fifth clue, so don't worry.
But the thing was, is I thought, would he count because he only played one game?
Right, I'm going to bed. I'm not sticking with it.
So I'm sure he must have took off Kit Simons because I know he was the youngest at one point.
Yeah, and he was made the captain, and then he went to Stoke.
Yeah. Oh, that's annoying. But I had him in my head, and I thought, he only played one game. Surely he's not.
Because it saw Liam Lawrence and Dave Kitson come.
Yeah. So that's
to us.
So I was literally going back through my head. So I thought that season was Liam Lawrence. Oh well.
Do you want another one, or is that?
Go on. One more. One more to leave it on.
One more. Right. Let's go. This one. Clue number 1. I made a total of 47 appearances in English football.
Ashley Harris.
Is that your guess?
Yeah, fuck it, go on.
I'm going to go... This is the first name that came in my head. Preki.
Not a bad shout.
I'm pretty sure he was only at us for one season. Before us, he was at Everton, I think, wasn't he? And I don't think he played a lot there. I love Preki. When I was a mascot, I had a picture of him. Loved him.
Clue number 2. I played with Andy Barcham, Isel McLeod, and Colby Bishop, but not at Pompey.
See, the Colby Bishop thing, I'd be swayed to go thinking about Exton, but he was at Leamington Spa and he did the non-league circuit, didn't he? So it could have been anyone there. Andy Barcham and who's the other one?
Isel McLeod. You lot need to get better memories. You're absolute dog shit.
I can never remember 3 names. It's 2 and 2.
How can you not remember 3 names I literally said 10 seconds ago?
When you're 10 years older, you will see why.
Andy Barcham, Isel McLeod, and Colby Bishop.
Barcham, McLeod.
Where
Bishop.
am I? Where am I?
Shut up, Grandad.
So what? That first question, was it English league games? Or just games in England?
Come back to me on that.
Oh, here we go again. Dear Lord.
Moans at us.
Did Pandavani...
Total appearances.
Did Pandavani go anywhere?
Yeah, total
else in England
appearances in English football or in the English league. So, like, could they go non-league? Because they don't count towards the English league.
In English football.
Just in English football, okay.
Did Pandavani go anywhere after us? Did he? I don't know where he went.
He would have played with Bartram at Pompey.
No, he wouldn't have.
Yeah, he would have.
No, he came.
He was here.
Yeah, first season in League Two, wasn't it?
Bartram was here.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that video of Pandavani getting both his ankles strapped up? So it was when Soccer AM, they came to us on a weekly basis, and the reason we got Pandavani from Monaco was because he had issues with both of his ankles, and before he trained, they'd have to strap it up, both ankles up properly, so he couldn't move his ankle.
Jesus.
But he could move his foot. If you watch it, or you can find it on YouTube, it's mental. Because I always thought that was a mental signing, someone coming from Monaco, even just their B team. But it was because of he had issues with his ankles. I think he had 2 operations where they took everything out of his ankles.
Yeah, well, I think we thought we were getting a quality player and we didn't.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know who this could be. It's obviously someone who either went abroad or didn't last long in the game. That's why I went Ashley Harris. I want to go that Liam Walker. He was a baller, by the way, Liam Walker.
Decent free kicks. That one against Colchester was pretty decent, wasn't it? Away from home. I'm trying to think just the first season, League Two. Jesus. Tough one. I have no idea. I can't even think of anyone because I'm trying to think. I'm trying too hard to think outside the box. Pass. I can't think of anyone.
I'm struggling with this one.
I can't think of anyone. There's even no point in me guessing because I can't think of a guess.
Right. Last clue. I have been released early from each 3 English clubs I played for.
Getting that doesn't narrow it down, does it?
Not that Bocco, is it?
Is that your guess?
Yeah, fuck it. Just because I know he went to Accrington at one point and maybe played with Bishop. That's all I was thinking. There was logic behind it. And we cut his deal short because we had it agreed that he couldn't play against us.
Yeah. I've literally no clue. This one's a humdinger.
Harry, just give us this one clue of, is it an English player?
No.
No. This player could have played loads of games, but just had one stint in English football.
Bonds and Gala. I know he's played more than that, but I just couldn't think of the answer.
That's us giving up.
Yeah.
Who was it then?
Stanley Abora.
Ah, what a baller he was.
Jesus. Mate, he was quality. Honestly, I think that season, if you take him out of that team, we could have struggled.
Did he play with Bishop at Notts County?
He did, yeah. Alan McLeod and Andy Bartram was at Gillingham.
Yeah.
Proper anchor he was, mate.
He played 4 games for us.
And they were good 4 games.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. No, seriously, they were. Against Notts County, I thought he was quality.
It was.
He was really good.
But yeah, he came through Ajax's academy.
Yeah. Because I actually thought we were going to... I think if Paul Cook would have stayed on, I think we would have taken him on again.
I remember Neil Allen coming out I can't remember. I heard it was either on a podcast or they do like talks with the news and stuff. Like it wasn't something I read. It was something he said where he was driving home a drunk Paul Cook from after getting home from Notts County, and he was in the back of his car saying he's going to make Bora his number one signing and build a team around him and do this and do that. So, but obviously Cook fucked off, so it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, if he'd have stayed, who knows? We could have been in the Championship a lot earlier.
Well,
just because of the consistency. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there we are.
Well, there we go. That's the end of the bumper edition of Harry's Who Am I? So, boys, that is the end of the first season of the Pompey Patter podcast.
It is. Can I just say one thing quick?
You can quick, yeah.
I just want to say thanks to Az and Daz. I put a tweet out just before the season started asking if anyone wanted to do this with me. They're both the first two to come to me, so they got the privilege of joining me. And I couldn't have been happier to have the two that came, and consider them both good friends, and look forward to doing more next season. Thank you both for everything that you've done this season.
Yeah, and as we're going to have a little bit of a love-in, well, basically, thank you to Russ for obviously putting it out there and then allowing myself to come on. I'm sure Harry will thank you for him being able to come on. And then also, like, anyone that's listened, like, even if one person out of the whole season has enjoyed this and stuff like that, because the fact that we can just sit here every week and talk about Pompey, I think the fact that we've been usually on these for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, they've absolutely flown by. And just to talk about Pompey every week is an absolute dream for me. But yeah, thank you, Russ. Thank you, Haz. Literally really enjoyed it. And especially thank you to John Messina and the boys, because made this season a memorable one. And hopefully next season, make another one.
Yeah, I just had to kind of finish off. I echo both of you. Thank you to Russ for having the idea of putting that tweet out and allowing myself and Daz to come on. We started off as a nothing with the podcast, and we've grown already, and we've already got over 300 monthly listeners, which from the beginning of the season is just like blows our mind. Thank you to everyone who listens live, especially Russ's dad, who always is listening every week. Thank you.
Big up, Bob.
Thank you to Miltos, who has joined us numerous times and come on and spoken to us. Thank you to Andy Moon, who has come on and had as our special guest twice. Thank you to Neil Allen, who has also come on as a special guest last week. And how have Wickham not scored there? Thank you to David Norris as well. This is all very fresh for us. This is very new. We've absolutely loved it. If you've got any ideas that you want to put forward to us, we're more than happy to hear your ideas. Anything you want to listen to, anything you want to know, we're happy to include it, because we just like any other Pompey fan, we just love talking Pompey. And the fact that we get to do this and people listen live here on Twitter /X or on whatever podcast platform you've got, we can't wait for next season. And a massive thank you to everyone in Pompey, everyone involved, all of the club, giving us a memorable season to stay up after 12 years away. So on that lovely note, after that triple loving from me, Russ and Daz, boys, have a lovely summer. Obviously, we will stay in contact, but let's enjoy the break before we go through all the stresses of football all over again very, very soon. So take care, everyone. Have a lovely summer, and we'll see you very, very soon.